The fireworks from the Save Fort Howard project continue.
We'll try. That's all I can. I appreciate you coming here.
Dutch Rupertsberger was recently heard telling a constituent that he has no real desire to work with two of the key players in the negotiations. One of the individuals is a resident and community leader in the Fort Howard community, and the other is a member of the Save Fort Howard group. Dundalk TV also has many concerns about TODD CRANDELL, and so do many of his constituents, because it is unclear where TODD will stand at the end of the day, and rightfully so, because he surely did turn his back on the people of Dundalk regarding the fight over the North Point Government Center. What is abundantly clear is that the Fort Howard Community Association and outclassing Save Fort Howard group won't be deceived, ignored, or disrespected.
I think that the community here is very strongly supportive of our veterans, and I know my dad and his friends in the area all, a couple years ago the clinic did close because of mold or something.
Yes.
I think if you could put in your plans during phase 1 that
Yes.
you would open another community VA clinic.
Yeah, we actually have
That
spoken to the VA about doing it, and it may not be the
I mean, it was a small clinic.
but it would be a, but they are candidly non-committal. We said wherever the clinic is, we'd like to, in case of an emergency thing.
I think it's pretty plans they're building a clinic in Franklin Square, if I'm correct. I think someone just told me that.
Sounds better. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, like, again,
Generally located.
the VA is in charge of operating medical, and while as per the relationship that exists through the lease, we can make suggestions. At the end of the day, we're not able to, operate facilities that serve the veterans. That's solely in the VA's jurisdiction.
Is it drawn on your map where your clinic would be if they approved
The
it?
answer is we have 3 buildings shown.
Uh-huh.
Okay, right here, we expect that this is kind of
But I thought that's
veteran-
where the 50 homeless vets are going to go.
Well, we see that this area could be where there would be some degree of
So you're not
clinic type
opposed to
activity.
having a clinic there, and you're not opposed to having the homeless vets, and you're looking out for the community? How come the meeting wasn't in the paper, or other people weren't notified?
We had a meeting.
We had a meeting with the North Point Community Council, which was widely advertised. We reached out about having
North Point Community Council doesn't represent
in Fort Howard.
Exactly.
We've
You're in
met
Fort
with,
Howard. How come the Fort Howard Community
I
Association?
tried to reach out to as many people as
And
I
we
could that I
called-
do, and even Chris sent out emails and things like that.
But I know the Fort Howard has a Facebook
we
page.
also reached out to the Fort Howard
has a
Community
Facebook page.
Association. We reached out to the Fort Howard Community Association and invited Scott to join, and anyone else he thought would be interested.
You didn't put a notice, this lady said there was no notice at the post office. I mean, people that are straightforward usually are
Well,
straightforward
my
in all
comment
their
is we would
dealings.
love to
This
have-
meeting isn't above
I think we ought to
board.
give the guy some respect,
Well,
honestly,
I would respect
and that you're not
you more
doing that.
If it was a
Don't-
public meeting.
Here's
and
my
it was
Put us in the category of a bunch of idiots.
We are prepared to come down here.
The federal government can. They can basically put a bus line in and they ain't gonna tell you no.
If you have a
That's my
suggestion,
concern.
they sound open-minded, we should listen to your
Give them
suggestions,
respect.
okay?
I've been
Again,
very
And here's my
consistent for a
comment,
lot of years
if you
of
want
what
us
we
to post
expect.
something at the post office and come down here again, we'll be down here again to meet with your group.
Yep.
We seek to hear what the group cares about and what they want, and let's get with you after the meeting. We'll have another meeting, we'll come down here.
Okay, well, I've had a question, 2 questions actually. My question is, if you move towards doing it for veterans, you have a great community going in, you're going to have great houses, I think that you wouldn't have any hard time selling to veterans and having veterans come. Who would not want to live in that community? I don't know anybody that wouldn't. It's a beautiful place on the Patapsco River where it meets the Chesapeake Bay. You're not going to find a better place to live than that, especially in this community. This community is great. So would you consider selling strictly to veterans? I think that you could actually do it if you really put your mind to it, and you would have the community on your side. You wouldn't have the opposition. I think that would be a great approach to take. And then my second question would be, what kind of contract do you have at this point in time to do this proposal?
Okay, so your first question is, would we consider doing an all-veteran community? And the answer is, this type of development, which we would do, and we've done a number of developments, occurs as a result of a lot of activities. Included in that activities is getting sufficient funds to build homes with an expectation that you sell them. And if we had confidence that the veteran community was sufficiently strong to buy all these houses, I don't have a problem with that. I suspect, though, that we will have a difficult problem getting a lender. We deal with commercial banks and other lenders, insurance companies, and convincing them might
Because
be
you know the
challenging.
veterans can't afford it.
Well, I would say some veterans can, but by casting a broader net, you
A broader
increase
net,
the
you mean by
likelihood.
profiting off of the sacred blood that's been at Fort Howard from our veterans.
The second question.
Was around the contract.
Well, the second question is contract.
We have a relationship and an in-place agreement to make an investment into the partnership that owns or that has the rights under the enhanced use lease. And so at our option, we would be able to make an investment. Part of the decision around making that investment will be, whether there will be land use permission and approval ultimately for a feasible plan that allows for the money that's required to be spent to fix the property up to be done. And in order to spend all of that money, which has to come up front, there needs to be a certain amount of activity and a certain amount of marketable activity that we can put on the site.
So is this verbal agreement or a written agreement that you have?
Written agreement.